Hello, everyone. This is Zach with the Aeong Show, and I am back with a special AEW All Elite Wrestling All In preview video. Now, All In is this Saturday, July 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and this is the biggest show of the year for AEW. All the stories have been building toward it. You have the biggest matches right now on the card. Um, it's a great card down top to bottom right now. Currently, we are at 8 matches scheduled for the main card. Of course, we don't know if anything's gonna be added to like the buy-in or anything like that. This is being recorded currently after Dynamite happened, before Collision. So if anything's added after Collision or on Collision, we're not going to talk about it. But I don't think anything major is going to be announced extra there. So we're just going to talk about the 8 matches that are currently announced. And boy, what a card it is so far. You can tell that AEW is really like found themselves over the past few months. I mean, you hear it in all the interviews with wrestlers like Ospreay, even MJF and stuff like that, where they're talking about how like hungry everyone is and how the roster is just like all there together. Like everyone's kind of like pushing towards the future. And it feels like the first time in a while where like you can say that about the AEW, where it just feels like everything's cohesive, everything's like full force. And so I'm very excited for this card. I know personally, like I had some like off and on with AEW in the past like year or so with the stories and stuff like that. But the past few months, I've definitely like fully been hooked back in, and I'm ready for All In. Gonna be a great show. So we're just gonna go from all the matches. Let's start off with the Casino Gauntlet matches, just because those are a little bit more flexible in terms of like not as much story. I don't really know who's going to win either of them at this point, because again, for both of them, we only know like a couple people. For the women's Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal, or Casino Gauntlet match, not Battle Royal, because whoever wins gets a world title shot for either the men or the women's match. I'm not exactly sure right now if it's like just a guaranteed title shot that like for a specific date, or if it's like the Money in the Bank type thing that Christian had last year. I'm gonna assume it's kind of like the Money in the Bank thing again. But yeah, because they hadn't announced like a date for a match. But yeah, at this point, we know for the women's, we know the first contestant is Chris Statlander. We know the second entrant could be Megan Bayne. For the men's, we know the first is Mark Briscoe. The second is MJF. And we also know Mystico is going to be in it. So yeah, those are definitely some big names off the start. There's always like probably a couple surprises for each, the men and the women's. So that'll be interesting to see if there's any like interesting names. Like maybe we get, I know like Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling's in Texas for All In Weekend. They're doing a few shows. There's maybe like get like Maki Ito or something like that. Or like Miyu Yamashita. I know they've both been on AEW before. For the men's, I mean, who knows? Could be anyone could show up. I remember last year we had Nigel show up. So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see to see who's like the full contestants in both of those matches, depending on the match. And of course, we don't really know how many people are going to be in the match, just because it's kind of like they keep coming out until the match ends. Who do I think is going to win? Who knows, really? Because again, you don't know who's going to show up and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like MGF's, of course, like an easy pick just because him versus Hangman or Moxley is a good feud. Him versus anyone. I mean, he is the longest reigning AEW World Champion. But it should be good matches. All those casino matches are always really exciting just because of the chaotic nature of them. I don't think any one of them has ever been bad or like not fun to watch. So that should be interesting. So yeah, both of those should be good matches. Just fun to watch in that. Next let's get into the tag team match. We have the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. They'll be wrestling against JetSpeed, Speedball Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight. And then you have the Patriarchy of Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. This one's an interesting one. I mean, going into it, like before Dynamite, the Hurt Syndicate has just been very dominant. I mean, all their pay-per-view matches have been pretty dominant, like just pretty. I mean, you know, the other team gets some offense and stuff going in there, but like it's pretty much the Hurt Syndicate's going to win the match, and it's pretty easy for them. And then you have JetSpeed, who are both really good wrestlers. I mean, Speedball is amazing. Kevin Knight's really just like he's more, I'd say, like, cause he is like he's more showing up with Speedball, so they're a good team. And then you have the Patriarchy, Christian and Nick Wayne. They have a bunch of story stuff going on, a lot of mess with them. So I mean, I don't think they'll win. I mean, they could. I mean, the whole triple threat thing is where, like, if you wanted to get the belts off the Hurt Syndicate without them actually losing, you could do it in this one. Um, I'm still leaning Hurt Syndicate's going to win, especially after Dynamite, where they got kind of like destroyed by the other two teams because like they caught them off guard with the belts, and then Christian McWayne came out and attacked them. So I mean, like, Hurt Syndicate looking weak going into All In kind of makes me feel like they're just going to win, especially since they're still kind of looking dominant with MJF and stuff. Is pretty new to the group. I don't see the reason to get rid of the belts off them at this point. You can still they can still hold those for a little bit. Kind of the tag team division has kind of been like one of the things that's kind of been lacking in AEW recently, just because I feel like there's not enough like big established teams. Like JetSpeed is really good, but they're just kind of like two guys who you put together, like, which again, not a problem with that, because I mean, like, one of my favorite tag teams in AEW history was Kenny and Hangman. They were just two guys who were friends who you put them together in a group, in a tag team, and they're really good together. So that can work, of course, but just they're so new to being a tag team. Which again, if they continue to do it, that's great. Patriarchy, I don't really see Nick Wayne and Christian being like a long-term tag team at this point. You have FTR, they still haven't touched Hurt Syndicate at all. But besides that, they're still like, need more tag teams to really build it up. I want but we'll see. I'd say build up a new tag team to kind of like take the belts off them, because I feel like if you have like JetSpeed take the belts from them, then where do we go from there? So we'll see. I mean, I think it'll be a good match. Should be a fun thing. You still have all the Christian, Nick Wayne stuff going on, so who knows what's going to go on there. I'm saying probably Hurt Syndicate win. Probably, maybe either Nick or Christian, I think, will probably take the pin just to lead to more stuff with them. But yeah, should be a good tag team match. Next on the card, we're going to go into the Adam Cole-Kyle Fletcher match for the TNT title. They're both good. I mean, they had a great match a few weeks ago, I think. I forget when that was. That was interrupted with interference, so we didn't get a decisive winner. I'm thinking I'm going to go with... It's a tough one, because I do think that Adam Cole still has more like legs in his title run. Like, he only just kind of won it. It feels like he hasn't really defended it that many times. But also, like, Fletcher is really hot right now, where it's like, I mean, you kind of want to just give him the belt and let him run with it. But I mean, you could also like have Cole retain and have like Fletcher kind of like go after like whoever wins. Well, I guess probably not if Okada wins, but if like Kenny wins, you can have go after him. But like, there's a lot of stuff you could do here. It should be a great match, just because, I mean, they're both good wrestlers. I mean, they're both really entertaining. I know some people are kind of like down on Adam Cole in the past like year since he came back from his injury, just because a lot of like his story stuff's been a little all over the place. But I think he's still great. He's still like the same Adam Cole. He's just been really unlucky with injuries over the past few years, which have kind of like kept halting his momentum. Like, every time he was like getting something, it was like, okay, this guy's gonna like blow up. Like, it's always like stopped him. Like, he probably was gonna beat MJF for the title if he didn't get injured, but then he got injured, so they had to tilt to Samoa Joe. They had the whole elite thing, and then he got the unfortunate concussion, which then they had to like kind of like squander that as well. So it's like he's had a lot of unfortunate stuff. I still think he can be a top guy in the company. I mean, injuries are just unlucky. Like, you can call someone like injury prone, but at the end of the day, unless it's like the exact same injury happening over and over again, where it's like, oh, you keep getting this one leg injury, like you're not really injury prone. You're just unlucky, which, yeah, I mean, that is unfortunate. It's something that could hurt you, because if someone's always unlucky, but like, I still think that Adam Cole is a lot to go for. Fletcher's been just doing amazing work. I mean, his feud with Ospreay was crazy. That steel cage match, one of the wildest ones I've ever seen. So I mean, it's a tough one. I don't know who to call this for. If I was saying, I kind of would say just give it to Fletcher, just because I think you kind of want to just push the guy who's doing really well right now. Even though Cole is doing well, I think Fletcher is just one of those guys where like see what he can do with the belt. Like, give him the belt and let him run with it, because he'll put on amazing matches. And it's kind of like, this is a moment to like have a belt, because he hasn't really won anything yet in AEW. So I'd give it to Fletcher. But either way, they're both kind of good options. That's the one thing about this show, which is great. It's one of the things that you want with a wrestling show. You want where, like, no matter who wins the match, you're kind of good either way. Like, of course, the fans are gonna have who they want to win. There are people in each camp and stuff, but it's best when there's not like a bad option, you know? Because like if you have a bad option, there's something wrong there. You know, you don't want an option where it's like, okay, if this guy wins this match, that's bad. Like, there's really only one match on this where I definitely say that's the case. Where if the right guy doesn't win, it's not good. But we'll get to that later on. But yeah, so we'll see what happens in that match. Next up, let's get into this is going to be an insane tag match. Like the triple threat tag team match will be good, but this tag team match, this gave me some of like those vibes of like when you had Hangman Kenny versus the Bucks. And that's what I'm talking about. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. This, like that. Another thing I just want to mention real quick. I don't know which is going to be the best match on this card, because like you have like a few matches which are just like, they're each going to be doing something different, but they're all going to be really good. And like they could each, like, there's probably be a bunch of different people who are saying, this is my favorite match, this is my favorite match, this is my favorite match. Probably going to happen. This could be the best match in the card, easily. I mean, Ospreay and Swerve are both running at a level right now that's insane. Ospreay seemingly hasn't missed for like, I don't even know how many years at this point. Like, since like 2017. Like, I don't even know. He's just been on another level, only getting better every single time. Swerve, ever since coming to AEW, he started off a little slow. Him and Keith Lee, they're a really good tag team. Then he went singles. It was kind of like unsure of what he was doing with like the stories and stuff. Then the Hangman feud really kind of like solidified him as a main guy. Then he won the title, did amazing as champion. The singles match with Ospreay was really amazing last year. And of course the match main eventing All In last year against Bryan Danielson, which was a classic. Like Swerve has proven that he is that guy. Like, he can carry this company. Ospreay has proven he can carry the company. Then you have the Young Bucks. I mean, in my opinion, the Young Bucks are probably the greatest tag team of all time. I mean, there's a lot of tag teams you can put in there. I just think the Young Bucks have been wrestling at the top of the game since like 2010. Like, it's been a long time that they've just been that tag team, like on the indies, in New Japan, now in AEW. Like, they've always just been that tag team. Like, you can put them in there and they're gonna have a great match with anyone. It doesn't really matter who. And then when you put them in there with guys who are at their level, then you have those match of the year matches, like those match of a whole promotion, like the tag team match against Hangman and Kenny. Like, those are the matches that they can have. So this one could easily just be amazing. I mean, one thing I do like is that this is like 8, if they keep it, which they probably will, 8 matches on the card. That's a lot of time for all these matches, which is great, because a lot of these matches are just going to be like 30 minutes for this tag team match. Sure. Let it go like 30. Easy. I'm fine with that. Let it go an hour. Probably be great. Like, so I'm ready for this. Who do I think is going to win this tag team match? Based off the stipulation, I'm going with the Young Bucks winning, because I think it's a good out to keep Swerve and Ospreay away from the world title for the next year. Because I feel like you don't, depending on the outcome of the main event, which again we'll get to later, but one of the big things about Ospreay and stuff is like, and Swerve is like, you're kind of like, there's a lot of people who want them to be world champion. I'm definitely one of the people. So if you have them lose, you can kind of like avoid that for a little bit, especially if you want Ospreay to win next year. Because I mean, next year All In's back in London, so it's kind of like you can have Ospreay lose this match, and then you can have him like win the Owen next year or whatever, get the title shot All In London, and finally crown himself the world champion in his home country, which I think would be a great moment. So I think that's a good idea. The Bucks losing like their EVP titles, it's like not really that big of a loss if they lose. So it's kind of like, I mean, they really haven't done much with it since the whole like takeover thing they did last year. So I think that's probably best if they just win. Um, and then it just adds more intrigue because then it's like, oh, Swerve can't be champion. What is he gonna do then for the next year? Ospreay can't be champion. What is he gonna do for the next year? Like they could team up, maybe go after the tag titles for a bit. I mean, they'd be a great tag team together. So there's definitely a lot to it on whether how you want to handle it. Because I mean, like a year is a year. Neither of them challenging for the world title for a year. So then you can have a lot of interesting things with them since you know for sure they're not going to challenge it. So yeah, I'm going with the Bucks. Should be an amazing match. Now we have 3 matches left to talk about, and boy are these matches insane. I mean, the tag team match is insane, but then boy are these matches insane. I'm gonna get into it with what if I had my pick. This is probably to be the best match, just straight up wrestling on the card, and that is Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega for the Unified Championship. Okada, the Continental Champion, Kenny, the International Champion, one-on-one for the Unified title. Oh boy. Oh boy. I've been waiting since 2018 for this match again. I mean, you have the first match, Wrestle Kingdom, in 2017. One of the most insane, mind-shattering matches ever. Like, blew my mind when I first watched that live at like 5 in the morning, whatever time that was. Then you had the rematch at Dominion, the hour-long draw. Like, even crazier. Probably should have a better match. Then you had the third match, the best 2 out of 3 falls match. The match that went like 70-something minutes. No time limit. Insane. Kenny finally winning Andy Okada's massive, gigantic, legendary world title run. Finally becoming the IWGP World Champion. And of course, then that led into Kenny leaving a few months later to make AEW and all that. But those 3 matches are 3 of the greatest matches of all time. If they never wrestled again, those would be like probably maybe the greatest series of matches ever. But now, after 7 years, we're getting the 4th match in the series. Kenny Okada. I mean, they've built it up. They've shown all the video packages. You have Don interfering, Okada helping Don. So now it's like, yeah, the family storyline added in. I mean, these two didn't need any other additional storyline for them because just those two getting in the ring together is that big a deal. Like, the first Kenny Okada match kind of set for, like, I mean, you can make the argument of what actually set forth AEW. Because, I mean, like, would Jericho have wanted to wrestle Kenny if, like, that match didn't happen and Kenny wasn't as big as he was after it? Who knows? And then if that doesn't happen, I mean, all these things, there's like that, the butterfly effect of you don't really know where it started, but like that match solidified Kenny, the first Wrestle Kingdom match, solidified Kenny as like that guy. We're like, okay, that's when the whole best bout machine came along. Like, after that point, he was just having amazing matches with everyone, and Okada was having his legendary title run, and like, I'm just excited for this match. Like, this match is going to be maybe the best match, could be match of the year. I mean, there's not enough words I could say potentially about this match. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I don't know who's gonna win. Like, honestly, I don't know who's gonna win because you have both guys who could easily carry this new like unified title. I'm still not exactly sure of how the title's working because like based off like Tony Khan's responses in like the media interview from like yesterday, he didn't really explain it well, in my opinion. So I'm not really sure how it works. Like, he said like a person could walk around with all 3 belts if they wanted. It doesn't really mean that either belt's like gone or anything like that, so I'm not sure. But whatever, either way, whatever goes on with the title, both guys could win. I mean, because both of them can easily carry 3 belts if need be. Kenny has done it before. Okada's one of the greatest champions of all time. It's tough pick. I mean, Kenny won the last match. Okada won the first match. It was a draw in the second one. So whoever wins this one's gonna have like the advantage now. It'll be 2-1-1 either way, whoever gets the win. It's a tough one. I kind of think Kenny should win because Okada can then move up a little bit. I mean, Okada can go after like the world title and kind of get into that picture now. Because I mean, if Kenny loses, I don't know what Kenny does next. Like, does he wrestle Okada again? Like, who does he feud with? Does he like go after the TNT title? I mean, he could also go after the world title, but I mean, I don't think right now. I think Okada kind of needs to be in that picture more, like immediately. But I mean, it's tough to say. I'm leaning towards Kenny winning, but Okada can easily win. I mean, it doesn't really. At the end of the day, whoever wins, it's gonna be great. So I'm leaning towards Kenny, but it's a tough one to call just because they're both kind of in the exact same spot. Where it's like, but Okada's done less in AEW, so him losing kind of like allows him to like go do more like main event stuff compared to. I mean, this is kind of like the secondary title, so he can kind of move up. Well, Kenny's already kind of done everything, so he can hold down the fort here. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, should be amazing. Next, I'm not sure what order they're gonna put the matches on the show, but this is definitely probably it's either second or third most important. It just depends on whether you're as big of a Okada Kenny fan as I am. But for the AEW Women's World Championship, you have Mercedes Mone, the TBS champion, and a boatload of other champions, so I don't know all the titles that she holds right now, versus timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion. This is a big time match feel. Like, their promos have been great together. They have that intensity. They have that importance to both of them. Like, Toni has elevated both herself and the women's title to new heights in AEW. I mean, like I can't really think of another time when the AEW Women's World Title was as important. I mean, like maybe like during the pandemic with Shida, but even Shida wasn't really treated anywhere nearly as highly as Toni is. Toni's definitely like just taking things to a new height. Like, she's a big star. Like, she's a big star in AEW. Like, she comes out, people pay attention. Always. No matter what she's doing, if she picks up the microphone, people are paying attention. Always. And she's really like rounded out everything around her, like, which has been great to see, because I was definitely one of the critics, skeptics, whatever you want to say, about the timeless character when it first started, just because I felt like she was such a great wrestler, and then she was kind of doing this thing, which was funny and entertaining, but it felt like her matches were kind of suffering at first, where it was like a little bit too much like tongue-in-cheek gags, comedy stuff added in, whereas I wasn't a big fan of it. But then like the Mariah May feud happened, and then I felt like she really got like, that's when like she like put everything together, and like the matches have been amazing, and like the characters even gone up. She's done such a good job of putting it all together and really like finding this thing that works and sticking with it. So again, like I thought it was, I thought it was okay, but like, okay, let's get back to Toni Storm. But like, she's kept with it, and I've turned around to like loving it now. Like, she's great. She's the star. And then you have Mercedes Moné, formerly Sasha Banks, now Mercedes Moné. Like, she has definitely, I feel like both of them have had that same thing where they've like kind of like had this like climb. They've just been climbing for the past, like, Mercedes came last year, it's like about a year, just like steadily moving up, where like they're both gonna meet at the peak of this mountain. And here they are now, at All In, meeting at the peak of the mountain for the AEW Women's World Title. Is Mercedes gonna get every single belt in existence? Maybe. Is Toni gonna hold firm at the top and say, no, I'm the best, I'm the champ? It's a tough one to call. They've both been doing great. I think Sasha, she came in last year, and she started a little slow, but she did find her footing real quick, and then started putting on great matches over and over and over again. She's doing great. I think the promos, she kind of struggled a little bit at first, but now she's really like knows what she's doing with her character and all that, and is doing good stuff. And especially done great with Toni. So yeah, and of course, like they're both like we've seen them wrestle. Like we've seen Toni Storm wrestle, whether it was in Stardom, at NXT, now in AEW, and we've seen Sasha do her thing in WWE, NXT, even in New Japan, uh, all over, and now in AEW. They're both phenomenal wrestlers. I mean, Sasha is one of the best in North America, one of the best all time. Toni's killing it. So the match is definitely one of the matches that could easily be the best match on the card as well. Like I said, there's like a few matches where it could easily be the best. This is definitely one of them. If I had to pick who I think is going to win, I'm going with Timeless Toni Storm. I think she should win. I think it's important to make sure that she is like the top star. Like she's the best thing you got going right now. Like she's been killing it. And you need to make sure that she is presented as such. Like Sasha's doing amazing. Mercedes is doing amazing. But I don't think she should win here because I don't think she needs it. Like I just don't think she needs it right now. Like, yeah, she could win the world title and then have every belt, but she's already the TBS champion. She has like a million other titles and other promotions. I don't think she needs to win the world title right now. She's definitely gonna win it. Like she's gonna win it. There's no doubt about it. She'll be a multi-time AEW Women's World Champion by the end. But right now, I feel like Toni Storm should win. I don't think she should lose. I don't think this run should end right now. I think she should take the belt, beat Mercedes, and like establish that she's a top champ. Just because again, it's the biggest show of the year. I feel like it's important to establish Toni. She lost last year against Mariah. And so it's important to show that she is the best. So I'm going with Toni. I wouldn't be like shocked if Mercedes won. Like I wouldn't even think it's a bad move, but I do think Toni should win. Like just because of where she's at right now. And then finally, let's get into the main event of the evening. The match that we've all been waiting for. It is for the AEW World Championship. And it's between Hangman Adam Page, the winner of the Owen Hart tournament, versus the AEW World Champion Jon Moxley in a Texas death match. A Texas death match between these two. They've done it before. And it was crazy then. But this one's even bigger. This one's for the world title. This one's in the biggest show of the year for AEW. In the main event. This is we have the Death Riders have been holding AEW hostage since November of last year. They've had the world title in a briefcase since then. We haven't seen the AEW world title in months, almost a year now. We have not seen that world title. It's time. I'm not even going to wait. Hangman Adam Page needs to win this. He needs to win this match. There's no if, there's no ands, there's no buts, there's no other option. Hangman needs to win. There's nothing else. He needs to win this match. That's the story. That is everything that they've built towards for this night, for this match. Hangman wins. Hangman needs to come out with his old theme. I'm just saying it. He can't come out with his dark, broody, evil theme. He's come out with his old theme, a Hangman theme. That theme that made you want to run through a wall. That's what he needs to come out with on Saturday. He needs to run through Jon Moxley. Now, of course, he's not just going to run through him. This match is going to be insane. There's going to be blood everywhere. It's going to be a wild match. There's going to be interference everywhere. There's no doubt about it. I said this before to a friend. This is going to be like WrestleMania 40, Roman Cody in the Bloodline Rules match, where people kept coming out. All the people who've been entrenched in the story come out, and then finally it comes down to Cody and Roman. and Cody wins, saving the day, ending the 1300-day reign of Roman. That's kind of what I'm expecting here in a way, except a lot more brutal, a lot more blood, a lot more viciousness. Because I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we've seen these Texas test matches. We've seen Hangman versus Swerve is one. We've seen Hangman versus Moxley is one. Like, that's what I'm expecting here, where it's going to be these two are just going to go crazy. Like, they're going to do crazy stuff. And then you're going to have, like, all the Death Riders get involved. You're going to have, like, the Ops get involved. You're going to have Ospreay get involved. You're going to have the Bugs get involved. And then, you're going to have Swerve Strickland get involved. Because I can't see a way that this match ends and Swerve is not out there at some point. I don't see it. You know, we had last year in the main event when Hangman came out and got involved. But this year, Swerve's going to come in and he's going to help Hangman. And he's going to do it because he knows he has to do it. Because like I said earlier when I was talking about the tag team match, I think the Young Bucks are winning. I think Swerve and Ospreay are not going to be able to challenge for the world title for another year. And if that happens, which I think it will, what are you going to do then, Swerve? Like, are you going to, because like they know they need to stop the Death Riders. They need to stop Jon Moxley. They need to get that world title back. But if you can't challenge for the title for a year, then what are you going to, someone's going to have to do it. If Ospreay can't do it and you can't do it, who else is going to do it but Hangman? So I think there's going to come a point in that match. At some point, I don't know what's going to happen, but Swerve's going to make a choice, and he's going to help Hangman. I don't think he's going to make like the final. He's not going to make like the final blow to Moxley, but he's going to save Hangman. He's going to make sure that it's going to be obvious that he helped Hangman Page, and Hangman's going to buckshot lariat Moxley's head off, and he's going to pin him 1, 2, 3, and the crowd's going to go absolutely insane. And then he's going to take that belt out of a suitcase. I still don't know how it's even fitting in there. It looks like it's such a small suitcase for the belt. Whatever. But he's going to get the belt back. He's going to pull it out from somewhere. And he's going to raise that title high, and the whole crowd's going to go nuts. And it's going to be one of the best moments in AEW history. And if that doesn't happen, then if that doesn't happen, if Hangman doesn't win, if Hangman doesn't walk out of All In as the world champion, then we're having some serious questions. Then we're having some serious conversations after that. Because, look, I'm not going to say I've liked the Death Rider storyline that much, but this is you have the perfect moment now. Like, I thought the perfect moment was Swerve a few months ago. I thought it might be Cope a few months ago. You know, I thought it could have been any number of things just to save us from the storyline. But now is the perfect time. You have the biggest show of the year. You have your biggest babyface, your homegrown, your day one, the guy the company was pretty much built around. And it's his time to save the day, to win the battle, to win the war, to get the title back. You can't mess it up. This is the story. Like, you can't do, WrestleMania 39, have him lose and then chase it for a year. I don't think anyone wants that to happen. I don't think anyone wants another year of the Death Riders. So, it's time. And we can't wait for anyone else. I know there's the people who say like Darby is like, oh, like I think people more are worried or anything that like they're waiting for Darby. Darby had his chance that he went to do his thing. That's fine. Like, more power to you. But now it's time for Hangman to do his thing, and that's to win the world title. That's what I want. That's what you want. That's what everyone wants. You want to see it. So hopefully on Saturday night, I make another video talking about this show, reviewing it, going over it. And the first thing I can say when that video starts is that Hangman Adam Page is your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. But we'll have to wait and see. That's still a few days from now. So hopefully you enjoyed this review or this preview of the show. It's going to be a fun show. So, go watch it. Make sure you watch it. Any other wrestling show that's on that day, ignore it. You can watch it later. This is the show that everyone needs to be watching because this is going to be the best show. Maybe of the whole year. Who knows? Definitely going to be the best show of the weekend. So go out and watch it. Again, it's going to be good. So make sure to watch AEW All Elite Wrestling All In on Saturday. Then, after the show, I'll upload a review video of it, so go and watch that as well. Hope you enjoyed this long preview. We're at like around 35 minutes. It's fun to talk wrestling. I love talking wrestling. It's one of my favorite things. I hope you enjoy listening to me talk about wrestling. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be doing more of these for like the big shows. I'm not going to do it for like Raw, SmackDown, or Dynamite, or Collision, but like, when there's big pay-per-views, I'm going to talk about them. Like SummerSlam, I'm going to talk about. It's like Forbidden Door, I'm going to talk about it. So like, you have those to look forward to. So yeah, if you did, and if you have anything to say, if you have any thoughts on what I thought about the show coming up, leave them in the comments. I'm glad to discuss any opinions on wrestling. So if you thought any of my previews were bad, if you thought like, oh, I don't think Hangman's gonna win, or I don't think Hangman should win, or I don't think the Bucks should win, or I don't think Toni should win, I'm fine with that. I'm happy to discuss in the comments or anywhere. Just keep it civil. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this preview. I will be back with the review after All In on Saturday. Hope you enjoyed. Take care. This has been Zach with the Aeong Show. See you next time.